Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alfany. So let's jump in right here on finbowl.com. They have an article titled "BitBoy Accuses Former SEC Boss of Taking Bribes." Good job, Mr. BitBoy. Appreciate that. I really do, because I think a lot of people can see what was happening. We've been talking about this for a long time in the XRP community, XRP army, whatever you want to call it. And we've been calling for quite some time for these governmental entities to do something about things like this. I've said it months back that if indeed, and we saw what another regulatory entity told Hinman. We saw what they told him. They said, hey, listen, you can't do that. That's illegal. And then that individual kept doing it anyway. That's what they put out themselves. OK, they put that out there themselves. So if that's the case, it's not uncommon for corruption to be in one area and have spread out or have been more widespread than what has been uncovered. So there should be some sort of investigation and there should be some sort of action taking place to make sure that that's still not going on and to find out if there were others involved, because most likely there were, which explains a lot about how the SEC is currently operating. There is no regulation. They're just collecting fine money. They're just revenue collectors. That's it. And they are destroying the United States and their opportunity to remain at the forefront of the world when they could use these technologies to strengthen themselves and actually propel themselves forward and have an explosion in their economies in every possible way, like a lot of other countries are preparing to do. So now let's read this little tidbit here. It says, amid a prolonged legal battle in which the United States Securities Exchange Commission is suing blockchain company Ripple over illegally selling XRP tokens. We know all of that. Let's skip down here. As it happens, Ben Armstrong, BitBoy, the individual behind the BitBoy crypto YouTube channel, has criticized the former SEC director Bill Hinman, accusing him of accepting bribes. Yeah, okay. Plenty of people have been doing that for a long time, man. You know, they go crazy now because BitBoy has so many numbers. He has such a large backing, which is very, very good. And you know what? I'm glad he's doing this. He's taking a lot of risk doing this. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's taking a lot of risk doing that. So I applaud him. He has to have some heart to do this. But he also knows the insane return on investment that XRP can bring. He understands that there is the possibility, hear me clearly when I say this, there is a possibility of an insane XRP price. All right? And I'm saying that without saying too much. He knows this. So he's going hard. He's making sure he fights in the battle. This is what I've been telling people to do for a long time. Like, hey, we have to fight. So call your mayors, call your governors. Let them know we want regulatory clarity. Hold your senators accountable. They're supposed to work for you. But nonetheless, some fighting has to be done. This is a huge punch at the regulatory entities, at the legacy system. BitBoy saying, listen, I want a piece of that generational wealth. Also, it tells you a lot that BitBoy, who used to not cover XRP at all of a sudden converted to XRP. It's because of what the information he came across. He's a wise individual. He's a money getter. Make no mistake about it. And when that information came across his desk, his eyes opened up. His mind opened up and said, ooh, here's some factual information about XRP and a few other protocol, as a matter of fact, Quant as well. And he said, I need to get in on this, and went in heavy. There's a reason for that. A lot of big money is doing it. BitBoy just has the courage to actually come out and say it. A lot of other people don't want to say it. A lot of other big name people, and not just in YouTube. I'm talking about in the industries, the big industries. They don't want to do it because they don't want a legal issue, possibly. They don't want to be involved just yet. So it took a lot of heart. I respect this move. So let's read this little tidbit here. With these accusations, Armstrong referred to the comments by Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson, who earlier addressed this matter in a series of tweets among other things. He stated that Ripple should focus on arguing for better regulatory clarity instead of suggesting that the SEC was bribed to turn a blind eye on Ethereum. Well, you know, the Ethereum issue is very heavy because of all of Hinman's dealings behind the scenes. You know, I think a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't want to face the harsh reality of what happens behind the scenes with certain assets. And so it doesn't make the asset bad. Ethereum does a lot of good, has done a lot of good. And I think it's going to have a couple more explosions before it's surpassed by other smart contract platforms, in my humble opinion, like Algorand and Hedera. So yeah, I believe they have a little bit of time left. And there's some money still to be made with Ethereum. Doesn't mean Ethereum is bad. You know, a lot of things happen behind the scenes to put it into position because others wanted to take advantage of it. That's why it's being called into questioning now. But this is a very, very good thing that's happening. So then BitBoy says, my 3 biggest holdings are XRP, ADA, and ETH, right? That's his biggest holdings, not his only holdings, all right? Some of these things you don't have to hold much of for them to be insanely, to have an insane explosion. For instance, Quant. Also, for instance, Cello. You don't need a whole lot of that in order to see the price explode and you make a disgusting amount of money. Theoretically speaking, this is not financial advice. Let's continue on here. So now we see that we've been talking about deflation for almost a year now. I say we've been talking about deflation since the beginning of maybe like February, January, we began to talk about that type of thing. And now you see the big names talking about deflation. We're always ahead of the game here on the channel because we utilize cause and effect. We understand catalyst and looking deeply into what is to come, what happened in the past, what's happening right now, and who are the thinkers behind monetary policy. Is that monetary policy going to change? We do all of this type of deductive reasoning, all of these calculations to come to these points. And now you see that so many things have come to pass, have come to fruition of what we said on the channel here. And you see now we have an article on CoinGate.com, and it goes as such. Cathie Wood's dire warning to the Fed warns of deflation. I've said this before. I felt like we've been in deflation. They're still just trying to ease the people into the idea of a recession because they don't want to take responsibility for what they have done. They don't want to be blamed. Also, they have a lot of political affiliations and certain political factions will be blamed and they will suffer for it. So they've been trying to put out this veil of delusion to say, no, we're not in a recession, then redefine recession. And meanwhile, the people are getting crushed. But it's questionable as to why the people accept that type of abuse in the first place. I don't care where it comes from. If a person is wrong, tell them they're wrong. Whether it's them or the other side, me, it doesn't matter. Even if it's yourself. If you know you're wrong, correct yourself. That way you can move forward into the future successfully. But when a fool falls in a pit and doesn't correct themselves, they fall in that same pit again. And I see a lot of that happening now. It has been a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. Deflation has already been occurring. We already went through stagflation. How much more does it take for these people to remove the veil from their eyes and say, hey, listen, we're in deflation. There's been massive layoffs already for the longest time. I guarantee, watch 3, 4, 5 months down the road from now, they'll start just like they're doing with deflation. We've been talking about it for so long. That 4 or 5 months down the road, they'll start talking about, oh, we had these mass layoffs, stagflation. They're always behind on everything, but it's on purpose, in my humble opinion. They need to keep the people off balance. They need to keep the illusion that they are doing something so the people are not upset with them. Cathie Wood, the CEO and CIO of ARK Invest, claims that the Federal Reserve is causing deflation. They are. You know that. Come on now. The Federal Reserve is engaging in quantitative tightening to combat inflation in the United States. In other words, they have to crush the economies. That's exactly what it is. They have to squish the economies back down. They have to crush the economies in order to fight inflation. This is logical. There's so much fear in the world. People are so afraid to just call things what they are. And because of that, they suffer because of their cowardice. They suffer because of their ignorance. It says, however, Catherine Wood of ARK Invest is questioning the Fed's hawkish stance. Well, I just put something on the members only section. If you check out those postings, you'll read something interesting, right? on a topic like this. Wood is not the only notable figure with a dire deflation warning. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has made similar comments regarding the central bank's restrictive monetary policy. Well, Alphanim has been talking about this for months and months and months, trying to warn the people. I try to warn them. Because then they can take precautionary measures to protect themselves. Nobody wants to walk into their job and hear that we're having mass layoffs. And they didn't even see it coming when the same people that lead them, I'm trying to keep it calm. The same people that lead them had the opportunity to tell them. They didn't tell the people. They didn't warn them. They could have. I tried to warn the people. There's been mass layoffs around the world. And it's still happening. We just covered more layoffs in a video recently. And it's nowhere on their so-called news media that everybody trusts. Their officials aren't telling them either. They're all quiet on it. While the people just walking into the office and just, oh, it's your last day. We're not going to need you anymore. They're cutting. Unbelievable. Let's move on from this article here. But be careful out there. Protect yourselves at all times. So now we have another article here. Well, actually, this is a tweet about Algorand. Algorand's been doing a great job. This is from Blue Me Inc. It says, accept at Algorand, hashtag USDC payments directly into your bank. We support at Shopify, at Magento U, at WooCommerce, at QuickBooks, and Blue Me Payment Link. Listen, Algorand is doing a great job. Stellar has been doing a great job. Ripple, all the bank coins been doing great. They will be the last one standing. Repetition is the mother of learning. They will be the last one standing. If you don't see what's formulating now, I don't know what it's going to take. And you see how they're all merging together. The new financial system is coming together and they are dominating. They are the key. You see these bank coins are being involved with almost every big name across the board. Algorand has huge support. They love it. Behind the scenes, they're making a lot of partnerships and deals. It's just a matter of time before they start making more massive announcements. Let's continue on here. So all of that is very good. Also, in relation to Algorand, we have this tweet. We are excited to share that we have deployed plus 100 million Algo across different liquid governance programs and hashtag DeFi strategies. And at Algorand, they're getting prepared. Algorand is getting fully prepared. They are expanded outwardly into everything that is big money. They will be bringing in an exponential amount of capital. It will only grow over time. They are in deep with the governments, in deep with the banks. The people love them. They've been doing a great job. They're feeding over 1 million people in India. Algorand. They are the people's coin. And their advertising has been second to none. When we go back to a bull market, or even better, when we enter into mass adoption, which could be right around the corner, once we end this SEC case with a victory, all of the bank coins I anticipate, and it may not happen immediately, but it will happen much quicker than the timeline we're on now, they will begin to explode. Because once there's regulatory clarity, there's no reason to hide the partnerships that you are holding on to any longer. There's no reason to not make big announcements. They will. And that will be the time to dominate. And they've been holding so much back that I anticipate a lot of announcements to come when that time arrives. So now let's go here. Let's talk a little bit about this. The Bank of International Settlements has been going absolutely insane. I do have a members only video I'm editing up. As you saw the other day, I did an early release for the members only section on that last video, yesterday's early morning video. I have another members only video, this time exclusively members only, that I will be putting out. And it has a lot to do with some of these documents that have been put out by the central banks as of late. Have you seen them? They've been potent. This one says, the BIS Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructures at FinST Board highlight that the G20 roadmap for enhancing cross-border payments has reached an inflection point. That means we're so close. Haven't I been saying that? We're so close. You can reach out and touch it. We are so close. And yes, it's not easy. It's not easy. The world and the people have been going through a very hard time. I completely understand that, but it doesn't negate from the truth that we are so close to the potentiality, I'll say, because there's no guarantees, right? I have to choose my words carefully. To the potentiality of an explosion, the likes of which you have never seen. But that initial explosion is only the flood, in my humble opinion. It's not the tsunami, but the flood will get us to the tsunami. Possible generational wealth. I have to say possible just to be fair, because I really believe it's a certainty. But I'll say it's a possibility for now. It says, with the focus now shifting from stock taking and analysis to implementation. We will have a piece of that. Instant liquidity, XLM, Algorand, Hedera, on-demand liquidity, which is patented. XRP, they need us badly. Interoperability of Quant, XDC, and XRP for trade finance, but mostly XDC. I expect VeChain to go nuts. Absolutely explode because of traceability. There is no one better than traceability. And yes, I know Algorand is used for traceability as well. That's another reason their price is going to explode, in my humble opinion. But VeChain is number one when it comes to traceability. But VeChain hasn't been dominant in the West just yet. There's a reason for that. We'll get there. Regulatory clarity means everything right now to mass adoption and to the utility coins, to a utility coin bull run, and it is coming. The age of speculation is coming to an end. The big money is in the utility coins, if you can find the proper ones. And there's a few out there that are going to be very explosive that I don't even talk about. So I'm just throwing that out there. There's a few out there that are going to just boom. It's just a matter of if you know where to look. Let's read this little tidbit here. FSB outlines next steps for enhancing cross-border payments. The Financial Stability Board today published priority themes for the next phase of work under the G20 roadmap. Also, they have to accelerate everything to be able to, and I'm not going to say G20, right? Because G20 encompasses a lot of different nations, right? But let's say the West versus BRICS nations, they're in a race right now, a mad race. There's no telling what's going to happen, but it's good. It's good because they are going to have to both implement distributed ledger technologies. We win on both sides and they will use us for different reasons. But that still means we get access, possible access to the maximum amount of money that we could, not just the maximum amount of money like that they can put on the table, the established nations, but keep in mind the underbanked money. We're going to scrape up all that value. There's no stopping us either. We have the corridors already built. XLM corridors in Europe and Africa, Latin America, Algorand corridors in Latin America, Africa, Europe, Southeast Asia. Stellar is heavy in Southeast Asia because of Velo Labs, because of EveryNet, because of LightNet. They are heavy over there. XRP now is heavy over there because of Ripple building corridors in Southeast Asia, Latin America. We are going to dominate no matter what. So either way, that price is going to go up if we're going by the information that's actually put out there. And if they just, if they allow the utility of the coins to serve their purpose, then that price is going to go up. It's not going to, XLM is not going to stay at 12 cents. XRP is not going to stay wherever it is right now. Quant is going to explode. Quant, and I said this the other day in that video, I'm trying not to make the titles too long because the algorithm seems to not like long titles. But Quant is a $1,000 coin easily. Quant can hit 1,000 so easily. It's mind blowing. It's just ridiculous at this point. You see what it's doing now in a bear market, don't you? You saw what the the all-time high was before. And I'll say this also. I see a lot of people. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I see a lot of people saying that XRP can't hit $100. What? Come on now. Why would you say that? Why would you tell these people such a lie? Now, if you're saying you don't believe it will hit $100, okay, that's your opinion. But if you're saying it can't hit $100, if you do the calculations and you look at just taking a modicum of tokenization of debt, tokenization of real estate. All that art money, fine art money will be flowing through that XRP as well, XRPL. The tokenization of land, which we're already doing. Trade finance, we're going to take a piece of that already. Ripple has been working on that for years, right? Trade finance, the tokenization of securities, that we'll be moving a huge chunk of that, by the way. All that Nostro, Vostro money. Come on now, stop playing. Interbank payments on the low end, $400,000. At least that's when we last checked. On the high end, on average, over $1 million interbank payments. That $100 would be easy. It would be easy for XRP to hit $100. You want to be real about it. And I'm going to say that because so many people have, putting this information out there saying, no, it can't hit $100. Like, it can hit $100. If you don't believe that, that's perfectly fine. But it can. Doesn't mean me saying that it can doesn't mean that it will, but it can hit $100. And $100 is not even the max of where it can go. XRP can reach disgusting prices. I won't put my target out there of what I believe because it will literally blow your blazer off. Come on now, just do the equations. Look at the factual information that's there. Look at the relationships they have. They're on the advisory board of the IMF. Who else has that? No one. You can look this up for yourself. $100 is nothing. It's nothing. Like I said, there's no guarantees, and I'm not saying it will go there. I'm saying that's nothing for XRP. Nothing. I mean, after this case, we'll see. We'll see. That's just my humble opinion. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Okay. But XRP, according to David Schwartz, can't be dirt cheap. What does dirt cheap encompass? It can't be dirt cheap. It functions better at a higher price. Let's go here. So then let's go here to a little bit of Quant news. Quant has been doing a great job as of late. They are at CBOS now. I told you, they said themselves in their document, they are there to meet with clients, partners, governments. Quant is there to handle business. Here's the first quote from Quant at CBOS 2022 at Quant Network. Quote, "We risk leaving behind those who are not so comfortable with technology," end quote, says Commissioner McGinnis. Digital finance, quote, "Digital finance carries risk. So we embrace the possibilities, but guard against the risks. There is a clear and urgent need to bring crypto into regulatory fold." Regulatory clarity is coming very fast. The pressure is going to mount in the United States to issue regulatory clarity. I believe that's coming. First, we have to get through this SEC case. I think that's one of the main holdups. They didn't expect the world to take such a horrible turn against the West. They didn't anticipate that. They thought that they would just hurl sanctions all around and everybody would comply, and they didn't. So it threw a monkey wrench into their plans. So now they have to scramble. I think that's another reason why, if you pay attention, the judge around like the middle of the summer in that SEC case, the judge started pushing to try to force it to be ended by the end of this year. To force it to be over by the end of this year. Now, that's probably not going to happen. All the lawyers are saying that it will probably end around March or February, something like that, of next year. That's what they've been saying. I'm satisfied with either way that it goes down. That's not that long. And then, of course, there will be an explosion immediately after the case is over. But that's been the holdup on regulatory clarity. They cannot issue regulatory clarity until this massive case is over. It says, "We also recognize the advantages of distributed ledger technology," says Commissioner McGinnis. Quote, "Next year, we will be testing trading and settlement using DLT." Get ready. The new age is upon us. The new financial system is upon us. And there's an explosion for Quant in particular that is going to be absolutely mind-blowing, in my humble opinion. It says, quote, "One approach is to encourage private partnerships," says HM Queen Maxima. Quote, "Collaboration between industry and government is also industry and government." is also key to enable services beyond finance. Think of health, think of education. This is what we've been saying for a long time after we saw what Algorand was doing in the hospitals. Traceability, and I just discussed this in a prior video. Once again, everything we have said on the channel, I won't say everything, but many things have come to pass, have come to fruition. It's not because I am a psychic or my people are psychics. No, it's because we look at cause and effect and we know to follow the catalyst and dig deep. And so now you see, they will be using traceability in the hospitals. I believe also they will use it. There's another problem. This is why they want to implement distributed ledger technologies when it comes to payroll. There's a lot of stolen money. A lot of stolen money when it comes to payrolls. People not getting paid their proper amounts. They don't really check their paychecks. They just let them hit their bank accounts, direct deposit. And so they don't want that to happen anymore, especially in the hospitals. In the hospital, listen, I know. In the hospital system, there's a problem at times with misallocation of funds. It's going to leave that right there. All right. They want to track and trace everything so that doesn't happen. The same way the governments and large institutions and large banks want to do it, want traceability. They don't want anything stolen anymore. Same reason the oil industry wants traceability. They don't want anything stolen anymore. They want all the money that they feel they have coming to them. So now let's scroll down here, read just a little bit more here. It says, quote, "We want a fully integrated market for payments in Europe," says Commissioner McGuinness. Quote, "Central banks are looking into CBDCs, over 100 of them. That makes international cooperation absolutely essential. A digital euro will be a companion to cash. We also see a digital euro as working alongside privately issued digital currencies." I told you that money, we're not competitors. They can't compete with us. We're not competitors. Their value will flow right into ours, right into our protocol. Seamlessly. They want to be a part of the new financial system because without us, they are lost. They are lost. So they can't step on our toes because of the fear that we're going to advance, and we will. We already have advanced much further past them than they could ever make up or catch up. They don't want to be left behind. So they have to play nice with the blockchain companies. And that means we're always going to get a piece. We're going to get a big piece of their value flow right out of them into us. And that will make, theoretically speaking, not financial advice, that will make our pockets, our bank accounts, our crypto accounts explode. Look what he's saying. Working alongside privately issued digital currencies. We look forward to seeing the innovations that will change the world for the better. We're designing the future of finance. They're all saying it now. The new financial system. What we've been saying for so long, now they've caught up a little bit. They've accepted their fate. They're going to hand us the money. It's just a matter of who's left at the end to receive that generational wealth or wild riches, depending on how much of the protocols you hold, of course. Of course, there's a correlation there. So now, and there's more. Wait, there's more. Quant is going insane with information. They're letting us know. Quote, "Security, reliability, resiliency are what we focus on at Swift Community," says Shah. "It's important that you engage with us and the financial community. Continue to challenge us so together we can realize a faster, better, smarter financial future." Quote, "Technology is accelerating at a massive pace," says Perez Tasso. Quote, "We're now looking at CBDCs. Tokenization." That's where you really want to pay attention. I'm telling you now. The buying and selling of debt is going to make people billionaires, not millionaires, billionaires. Tokenization of debt. Don't ever forget it. Keep your ears open for catalyst. Tokenization and digital assets. We're well placed to address global fragmentation. We're about more than messaging. Oh man, there is no one that's going to function without us getting a piece of that money or them working in conjunction with us. You see how MoneyGram is combined with Stellar and such like that. You see that Ripple has the patent for on-demand liquidity, Overledger, the bridgeless system. We just had more bridges hacked, by the way. You saw that, right? More bridges got hacked. Wasn't one of them recently? Solana got hacked again? I think it was. Don't quote me on that. I think it was. Another bridge got hacked. And what did they take? Like 100 million? Oh, wait. No, no, the 100 million was like Binance. It was a bridge. I told you. So Overledger has a bridgeless system. Quant has a bridgeless system that combines, not only can it connect everything, by the way, but it combines the legacy system with the distributed ledger technologies. How brilliant is that? We're going to make a lot of money, in my humble opinion. Not financial advice. We're going to make a lot of money because of that. I think quant holders are some of the wisest, in my humble opinion, and going to make a lot of capital. Just my humble opinion. Because of that, they are one of the companies that has one of the only true bridgeless solutions and a super low circulating supply. Something to think about. There will not be one system. There will be many. There was a quote here that they had where it literally tells the people that there's not one system, that there will be a myriad of systems, but I can't find it. So let's move on here. This article is from bncrypto.com and it's titled Tradefi Firms Scoop Up Crypto Talent to Boost Blockchain Business. Let's read this a little bit here. Prior to the market meltdown, cryptocurrency companies have been expanding rapidly, but were then forced to contract. Like, what? Not the bank coins. The bank coins have been expanding the entirety of the way. Algorand hired more. Ripple hired more. Stellar hired more. I'm trying to think if anybody else was hiring. Oh, Cello hired more, and they hired big guns, by the way. Big people, powerful people. So not the bank coins. I hate it when people combine all of crypto together. Like we all do the same things. We're all one. No, we're not. Not when it the bank coins are in a class of their own. Okay, I want to make that clear. So not everyone contracted. It says, while companies like Bitpanda and BlockFi reduced headcount, Coinbase, the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the United States, shed 1,110 employees, nearly 20% of its staff in June. Yeah, Coinbase did. But that's been happening across all industries. There have been mass layoffs, as I was discussing earlier in this video. Mass layoffs. We are in a deflationary time period. Economies are being crushed. People are losing their jobs. It's not just crypto. Tradefi banking on blockchain. Look how they put that. They need us. How many times have I said that? Although banks remain somewhat contentious with matters surrounding cryptocurrencies, what banks? Name some. Name some banks that are contentious. Look, don't listen to what people say. Watch what they do. Let me say that again. Don't just hear what they say, but don't alone listen to what they say. Watch what they do. Because I'll give you an example. Because Christine Lagarde has said a lot of things. She's flip-flop back and forth on loving crypto, then being against crypto. But the European Central Bank itself has been testing different distributed ledger technologies. They've been having meetings with a lot of the bank coin heads. Same thing with the IMF. They've gotten presentations from the bank coin family. They have them on their advisory board. They've tested them. Look at their actions. The actions speak louder than words, not to be cliche. So just give me an example. Who is against this? Many more are interested in the underlying blockchain technology, which you can't get without us. And we're going to continue to advance. I mean, how bad, like if they wanted to go against us, how badly do they want to be crushed? They couldn't catch up before. They didn't come up with the idea, so they can't innovate on it. It's ours. According to Shaw, Citi has been exploring how it can use blockchain in the bonds settlement process. Of course, everything's going to be tokenized, of course. Where are you going to get the liquidity from? Your banks are suffering from a liquidity crisis. XRP? Instant liquidity? You want to create your own liquidity pools? You want to conscript some XLM? Feel free to do so. Where are you going to get the liquidity from? We source liquidity the best. Like you couldn't believe. You need us. Now let's continue right here. While it and other big banks have been advertising for key roles around blockchain and crypto and weeds, that's another thing. A lot of your people have been coming over to us and working for us. A lot of the federal government in the United States have come over to work for us. And we have people from the Bankcoin family go to work with them. We're pretty much one already. One system already. Think about that for a moment. For instance, Citi have been advertising for a direct level digital asset risk manager for cryptocurrency. Where do you think you're going to get that from? We're probably going to have to hand you that individual from us, the Bankcoin family, like we always do. Goldman Sachs is seeking a VP for crypto and blockchain. We just had an executive, or not executive, but like a high level person from Goldman Sachs come over to the Bankcoin family. We just keep winning. And JP Morgan's asset and wealth management business, which manages $7 trillion in total assets, is looking for someone to oversee blockchain strategy, including crypto and digital currencies. In fact, Tradefi banks have made a glorious summer out of crypto's winter of discontent, having been unable to source the appropriate talent until now. You're getting it from us. And also, XDC has been dominating. And XDC Zenfin has had the stamp of approval from the World Economic Forum. Have you seen all the activities in the World Economic Forum just yet? I mean, not just yet, but as of late, been a lot of activities. Their power has been felt everywhere. And the World Economic Forum has key leaders in positions, some of them prime ministers. They have presidents in agreement with them. They have people everywhere because of their young world leaders program. And now those young world leaders are old world leaders. They are in very powerful positions and they will make sure that the will of the World Economic Forum is felt. Now, let me say this. Is the World Economic Forum suspicious on many levels? You decide. Look at that look on my face. But when it comes to the assets or any technologies that they push it heavy, they push it hard, and those assets make a lot of money. You don't see what's happening with the electric car industry? World Economic Forum long time ago said, listen, we don't want, because of certain natural events, we don't want the people using oil anymore, gas, whatever you want to call it, petrol, whatever. And look what happened over the years. It's not just Tesla. There's a whole bunch of electric vehicles hitting the market. Well, the World Economic Forum wanted that to happen long ago, and now it's happening. Let me ask you, how much money have the electric vehicle market, how much has it made over the years? You think that was a good amount? Exactly what I'm saying. Exactly, okay? They're pushing XDC. They're pushing Cello. They're pushing Stellar, Algorand, and XRP as well, and there's a few others involved. Oh, yeah, and also they had an article that they wrote, and so they're fully behind LCX as well. So there you have it. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Of course, there's no guarantees, but I'm just giving you the truthful evidence, all right? So, okay, so we're going to end off with this Quant quote here, all right? And it says, and this is what we've been saying for a long time, many of us in the Bankcoin family, it's not, here's the quote, it's not going to be one network that rules them all. It will be small platforms that do some things very well, and these networks will be interconnected. They're telling one system, as I've been saying. Don't look at XRP, XLM, Quant, HBAR as different systems. They are one system. They are one system, one engine, all different parts to one engine that will make everything run smoothly, by the way. And that money will flow into all of them. There's enough money for all of them. More than enough money for all of them. So, now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.